as you all know, I am moving my makeup room into a proper makeup studio, and I came across so many foundations that I own, and I did like a foundation kind of a review last week for that new one that I got, the NARS one, and so many of you liked it. So I thought, let me make this into a series that every week I will try out a new foundation and basically give you my thoughts about it. So expensive foundations, mid-range foundations, and a very affordable foundations. Because I own so many foundations, I have a thing for foundations. I love foundations. So I thought that would be quite interesting to, let you guys know about my opinions on different foundations. Last week we did NARS, which is more of a higher end range foundation. Today we will be doing more affordable, which is a Loreal Infallible Total Cover Foundation. It says it is a full coverage long wear foundation, and I am in the shade Amber. So I used to wear this quite a long time ago, and I think they changed the packaging. It was one of my favorite foundations because I have a very oily skin, but I have a combination skin. So I'm kind of normal on my cheeks, and I get oily on my T-zone areas and a little bit like over here. So yeah, so just keep that in mind whenever I give you guys any kind of foundation reviews, that this is for my skin type. So remember, whenever you're buying a foundation, it has to be according to your skin type. Whole drawer of these are all my personal foundations. I'm going to do this without a filter, and one side I'm going to use a beauty blender, and the other side I'm going to be using a brush. So I'll just kind of like dab that on. I'm going to take the beauty blender. This is by Some Delicious Cosmetics. I'm just going to go ahead and just start dabbing in. And look how full coverage that is. Okay, so it looks like I've got a lot, but like it's like really tiny dots. I've just spread it all over. It looks a little lighter on my camera, but like, can you see like when I step back, it all like balances out. So I put a very tiny amount on my foundation, on my forehead, so I'm just gonna go ahead and like spread that along because it's just way. Also, always remember that our foreheads are much darker than our the rest of our faces, because that's where the sun hits the most, and obviously that's where we'll tan the most. And okay, this is no filter, look at that. And can you see like now that it's like kind of settled in a little bit, it is like my skin tone. Nice, right? So let's go ahead and do this side. I'm gonna do the same kind of just like dot on. I'm not gonna put anything on to the forehead because I already have. I'll be using an angle like brush. This is the NYX brush. I'm just gonna be going ahead and doing the same method. Always dabbing in your foundation, never rubbing. Always dab in your foundation for the best coverage. So I have more acne on this side here, so I think I might just have to use a little bit more on this side. But you can already see like everything is covered. I'm just gonna put a little bit extra, it's a bit much, on those extra spots and just conceal everything. And I have a lot of pigmentation around my lip area, my nose area, and obviously under eye. So the one layer foundation is like more than enough to like cover everything. So you can see this is the bad side of my skin, this is the good side of my skin, in the sense of acne and marks. And you can see that one layer was more than enough. I don't have to go again. So some foundations you have to build up and you have to apply a couple of layers for you to kind of get the coverage. I have a lot of pigmentation around my lip area, so my mouth area. Usually Indian skin tones and darker skin tones always have like a little bit of pigmentation around this area, and I do have under my eyes, and I have a little bit on my nose as well. But you can see like with just the one layer, everything is like covered. So this is the side I use the blender, the damp blender, and this is the side I use the brush. And already you can see that obviously using the blender always gives you more of a natural look, because it obviously absorbs the rest of the product, and it's just the application with the sponges gives you the most natural look. You get more coverage. So obviously just kind of stick to whatever you think you need. Do you want more like natural looking skin, or do you want more coverage? Personally, I prefer, I think I'm like kind of moody, if you can say. Like I sometimes go between using the blender, sometimes I use the brush. On my clients I always use the brush because of sanitary issues and stuff, because of COVID, and it's just a bit difficult to, you know, sanitize between clients at the moment. Hi baby. All right, so this is the difference, and this is the beauty blender, this is the brush, and yeah, you can see like obviously more coverage this side, less coverage that side. But that being said, it's such a full coverage foundation that it's covered every single thing. I don't need concealer. Yeah, I'm going to do the rest of my makeup, and I'm actually going to use this as a concealer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use this as concealer. So basically just apply this right under the eyes and just focus that just to make sure that it is, you know, concentrated under the eyes. I don't actually need concealer, so like look at that, conceal everything. And I'm using a fluffy brush just to make sure that I get the most coverage. Okay, look at that, like I don't need any concealer with this. Okay, so I'm going to do the rest of my makeup and show you. Okay, so I've done a very basic makeup. I haven't put any concealer and I haven't put any powder. I've only put a little bit of blush, lipstick, a little bit of highlight on my nose, inner corners, a little bit of shadow as a liner, and mascara. I am trying to keep the makeup as simple as possible without any like contour and like powder and baking, just so that you guys can see the difference. But like looking at the difference between side to side, I mean like there's not much of a difference. I would say it's about, maybe this one here just looks a little bit more natural.